Welcome to the Simply Incredible podcast. I am Daryl, aka the D, right here with Troy Jabner.
We're back.
And it only took us 2+ months.
We're back.
Yeah, I know
2 months.
the world is now a better place.
It probably was since it had a chance to recover from our initial onslaught.
Yes, that brutality of that first year.
They were like, "Hey, could you guys maybe just let us breathe?"
Mm-hmm.
So we did. We let them breathe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I've missed you. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna lie.
I-
I've missed the podcast.
I've had injuries and sickness. So
You've had a
we're
rough
back.
couple of months, man.
Yeah, ain't nothing unusual.
How are you feeling now,
Feeling good. Slowly getting back. Physical therapy is helping out the old hips and knees.
dude?
When I
What
say
are they
old, I mean
doing?
very
Like
old.
actual exercises?
Yeah, the first thing they had to do was actually loosen my hip because it was like the ball and socket was kind of rubbing together there.
Ooh.
So kind of loosen that out a little bit and strengthen it now.
Will
So
is
it's good.
struggling with his
Yeah.
hip right now. He's
Yeah. He was telling me a few months ago that he had a guy in Harrisonburg
Yep.
that was going to work on it, but that guy's no longer doing it.
Yep.
I was like, oh man.
He was hoping for a hip replacement, but when he went down and got looked at by the doctor, they said they were going to hold off.
Mm-hmm.
So he's trying to look at different avenues of different things that he can do. And both of you guys, I hate to say it, we're getting older, man.
I'm not old. I'm very old.
Yeah. But you guys are aging like fine wine.
Yes.
Not $2 Ripple.
Sham Pimple.
Sham Pimple.
You remember Sham Pimple?
No. I remember Boone's Farm.
Sham Pimple was from Sanford and Son.
Oh.
He makes champagne and Ripple, called it Sham Pimple.
Dude, I introduced that show to Connor just I guess the end of last year.
Mm-hmm.
And I never dug it too much. I mean, it was okay.
I loved it when I was a kid.
But there was a couple of parts on there that made me belly laugh. And Connor, it's like now it's one of his favorites.
Aunt Esther.
Aunt Esther.
You fish-eyed fool.
Rolo.
Rolo.
I mean,
Grady.
But come on, Fred.
And
Come on,
the
Fred.
one guy came on. He wasn't on too often. It was a guy called Skillet.
Skillet. I don't know Skillet.
Yeah, he was on. He wasn't on there a bunch, but I was like, you got a guy named Skillet on there.
Dude, love it. Now, did you ever listen to any of Red Fox's old stuff?
Yeah, that's
That's some blue
that
comedy.
is rated R plus R.
Yeah. He's
I mean,
filthy.
that makes old school Eddie Murphy look tame.
Dude, and Richard Pryor, they were both looking at him like, you can't say that.
Yep.
What are you talking about?
Oh, old school good stuff.
Funny show.
Oh, by the way, but we meant to make this announcement right off the bat.
What's that?
Next week,
Next week.
video.
Video.
We're gonna have video.
And
so
you
y'all
guys,
can see how ugly Troy is beside me.
Yep. You guys will be sorry that we did this.
Yes.
But we don't care.
We've been planning this for a while. We finally got things set up so we can actually do it. So I'm excited about it.
I am too. I think it'll be fun to do, but it's going to be a little crazy thinking, oh, man, I can't hide just behind the voice.
That's right. that sexy voice.
I got a face for radio, man.
I've got everything for radio. And
Hey, well, let me ask you this.
Exciting.
What have you been doing to get ready? I mean, you had to buy a camera.
Mm-hmm. Had to buy a camera, had to buy a stand, get my software set up, be sure all my audio stuff worked with it.
Right.
And I'll straight up, it's going to be still very bare bones and basic.
Yep.
Because we have like a webcam. It's not a real good cam yet, but it's going to look pretty good.
We started out, right?
Mm-hmm. If you guys have seen my live streams, it's going to be that same video camera, but I think it's going to be better quality because it's not live streamed.
Oh, okay.
But
Okay.
hopefully one day we'll get better Wi-Fi and everything and have some live streams so we can have people participate with us.
Wouldn't that be neat?
Mm-hmm.
Get our studio in here all set up to
Yeah.
be professional looking.
One day.
One
And for
day.
the rest of our lives.
Hey, but like you said, man, I remember when we started out the school. I mean, we started out like in backyards and basements
Yep.
and behind bleachers, anywhere we could get an audience to.
Yeah,
Gather.
I remember stories because y'all started a little before I got there.
Yeah,
Because I started, we were in Gold's Gym,
yeah.
but I remember stories like on decks, training on the deck somewhere.
Oh, dude, pool
hitting
decks.
pads. Yeah. Oh man.
That was some good times though. And
like in a warehouse.
Yeah.
With
Well,
no heat in
no
the winter.
the jump rope was your heater. They're like, I thought you said there was a heater. Yeah, take this, start moving it, you'll warm up.
Yep. The more you move, the more you warm.
That's what my dad told me because I hate the cold. I
Yep,
can
I'm
work
right
in
there
the
with
heat,
you.
but he told me he saw me the first day I was working with him in the wintertime, and he goes, "What's the matter? You cold?" And like an idiot, I said, "Yeah." And he looked at me and he goes, "Oh, don't worry. When we get to the job, there's heaters there." I'm like,
Hey,
"Oh."
all right.
Dude, I totally cheered up. I got a little chipper. I was like, "Oh, cool. I can tough it out for a little bit." We get there, and he hands me a wheelbarrow. And he goes, "There you go." I was like, "Okay." And he goes, "No, that's your heater." And I'm looking at this wheelbarrow. I'm like, "What?" And he goes, "Trust me. You start moving that thing a little bit, those jackets, they're coming off, brother." By the end of that time, I was wearing a T-shirt out in January, man.
You know, it's funny. I always hate shoveling snow, but after a little bit, I'm like, man, it sure is hot out here.
No kidding, right? I broke down, man. When I became a homeowner, I said, "Look, I'm not pushing the lawnmower. I'm not shoveling snow."
That's why you have kids.
Well, yeah, right. So I went and bought me a riding mower and a snow blower.
Oh, there you go.
Yep.
And
even then, I'm like lazy about it. I'm like, man, I don't want to get out there and ride that thing.
I've always had this, well, not always, for a long time, since remote controls really come out, I always kind of told people, I was like, you know, the first remote control, that was me. My mom just kept making me get them, go change the channel.
Hey, do you remember when you were changing the channel? Since there was only 3 and you had like to go click, 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 click.
Yep.
It never went click, 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 click. It went.
And my grandma would flip
yell.
out.
Oh.
You gonna break your TV?
What are you doing there? Don't be doing like that.
Did
Click,
you
click, click.
Did you have any video games for the old TVs like that?
Oh yeah.
We had Pong.
I had Pong.
We got that at a yard sale. It was like 50 cents.
Okay, this is how old I am. We got that for Christmas one year, brand new.
Oh,
Yes, that's how old I am.
because we got ours probably like man, early, maybe like 81, 82, somewhere in that ballpark. And
Mine was like 76 or something like that, I think.
and it had like 4 little games you could play on it.
Yeah, breakout.
Yeah,
Tennis.
One was like a
Pong.
racquetball.
Yeah, racquetball.
Yeah.
Right? And that one was tough because
Yeah.
that paddle would get closer to the wall, and you're like, wing, wing, wing.
Yeah.
Dude.
It had the little wheels turning for it. And my grandma, she would get so mad. She go, "You gonna ruin the television with that?"
Oh man, Grandma needs to chill. Lord.
It was great that we had so much fun with that.
That was
I
good
mean, back then that was cutting edge.
Dude, I remember when it upgraded to Atari.
Yep.
And, you know, the first thing that made me go crazy was Pac-Man and Asteroids.
Oh, Pac-Man on Atari was not good.
Oh, it was terrible.
Yeah,
But it was Pac-Man.
it was Pac-Man.
And-
It's Pac-Man-esque.
Donkey Kong was great.
Oh, I love Donkey Kong.
Donkey Kong is one of my favorite arcade games.
Mine too.
Did you like Defender?
I like that a little bit because you had a little thing going up
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah,
down,
yeah, yeah.
and you get like turn around, and go back the other
Yep.
way. I thought that was pretty cool. Asteroids was one of mine too.
Asteroids was probably my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because the other ones, I mean, you actually had patterns that you could learn.
Yeah.
And the guys would do that, and I was like, man, I'm not about that. I want to
Yeah.
get, all right, put me in the middle and have these rocks come at me.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I got it.
And then you hit the little thruster.
Dude.
You had to get good. I remember I had really good control over that after a while.
25 cent never went so fast.
Yeah. The first arcade for us was at Maxway. They had like 4 games out in the waiting area.
Oh, wow. Was that the first time, like, you had, like, you didn't go to an arcade, you went there?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Mm-hmm.
Around here, I mean, in town, we had, like, a couple. We had Fun and Games,
Yeah.
Video Voyage, and then, of course,
Video Voyage, yeah.
Mind Boggle
Mind
came
Boggle
into
at
the
the
mall.
mall.
But,
Oh my god, my mom! I think she just thanked her lucky stars for Mind Boggle.
Oh, yeah.
She could give her here's like $2,
Go play and leave
and
me
then
alone.
she's gone in the mall.
Dude, it's funny now because the idea of spending money for one play
Yeah.
as opposed to going and getting like your, Xbox game, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't even make sense, right?
I mean, I try to explain that to a kid now.
You can't.
Yeah. It's so funny.
My kid, I was like, all right, and I tried to explain it to Connor, and I was like, every time you get killed, you got to give me a quarter.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, what? So he stopped actually engaging with anything and just went on these like 2-hour, explorations of World of Warcraft. He goes, I can walk for 2 hours and nobody can hit me.
There you go.
I was like, here's your quarterback. What about Joust? Do you remember Joust?
I remember Joust.
That was fun, right?
Uh-huh. You flying around on an ostrich.
Ah, made so much sense back then.
It did.
And what about for the Atari stuff? Do you remember Pitfall?
Yep. Pitfall Harry.
Dude.
I mean, you sit there and run across the board. Then you have a little lake, and you can jump on an alligator
head or
and then
oil slick or something.
And then after about 17 maps, you find like a little chunk of gold.
Oh man, loved it.
I was in the hospital one time, and the guy that was in the bed beside me, his mom brought him his Atari, and we sat there and played Pitfall. I can't tell you how long.
I'm telling you, I remember like when it came out,
Mm-hmm.
my buddy Chuck Drain,
Mm-hmm.
we were probably in junior high or something, and he goes, "Hey man, why don't you come over and spend the night Friday night, man? I've got the new Pitfall game. We'll get pizza, we'll watch The Incredible Hulk, you know, and Dukes of Hazzard, and then we'll play Pitfall until we just zonk out."
Yep.
That was a fantastic night. Dude, love
The game we played the most on Atari was football.
You see, I never did the sport games.
Yeah,
I hated them.
Now, here's the thing about that. People see the football games now. It looks almost real.
Right.
Back then, you had blobs.
Blips, yeah.
It was like these little blobs running around. It was hilarious.
I know without asking, I'll ask to bring it up, but you had, of course, one of the handheld green football games with the blips.
Yes.
The little
yes.
red dot.
Like the little
red
dashes on them.
dashes.
Yeah.
Blip, blip, blip,
We had a
blip.
basketball game like that too.
Yep. I remember, like, we used to always go on these trips, like, with, you know, my school and my church, and they'd always, like, take us on these huge bus trips.
Mm-hmm.
And if you had those games, that's what you were doing until you
Yep.
got there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, now that I liked.
Yeah, we used to do that, man. I remember we got the basketball game for Christmas. Me and my brother, we fought over that. Now, did you have the football game where you had an offense and a defense on opposite sides so you could play against somebody?
You mean the handheld? Or?
Yeah, it was a handheld one. It had like both sides of it.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. And you almost sat like head to head.
Yes.
So it was like a tabletop thing.
Yeah, but it was a handheld. Just
Right.
It's like the small football
small
size,
version.
but it had the defensive side too.
No, I never got that one. I did get one that was, the green one was what everybody had.
Yeah.
I mean, I say green, you know the one I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
I know. Mm-hmm.
But
Kids today Google that.
yeah, right. You have to put a picture up, right?
Yeah.
My mom and dad for Christmas got us a football game, and the thing is, I couldn't appreciate it because it was not the green one.
Mm-hmm.
It was actually better.
Yeah.
But because it was different as a kid, I'm like in someone's screaming, "That's not the one I wanted." In my head, I never would have said that to them.
Yeah.
I was real thankful, but it actually had it to where you could lay it in your lap, and it had like audio speakers coming out the sound, so that it kind of cradled in your lap. And the actual things weren't just blips; they were like little characters lit up like football players.
Mm-hmm.
So you do. I mean, it was kind of neat, but it was different. So I was like, different's different.
Mm-hmm.
Just give me the green thing.
Oh man, gosh, I miss those little handheld games. Then it kind of advanced to Game Boy.
Game Boy.
Did you have Game Boy? I had one of the original ones.
I had one as an adult.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I got it for Connor,
Mm-hmm.
and actually played like Donkey Kong Jr. and it
Yeah.
was fantastic.
Yep. The game we got so addicted to, me and my mom, was Tetris.
Oh, I
That
love
was
Tetris.
our introduction to Tetris.
Oh, really?
We played and
Oh,
played
yeah,
and
I know what you're
played.
talking about. That Game Boy, the different one I'm
Yeah.
talking about. What's the one that's small and folds up?
Dang, I want to say
It's
that
one of
is-
the newer
I
ones.
want to say that is a Game Boy, but
I think it's a Game Boy, like Game
but,
Boy
yeah.
Junior or
Yeah, I'm
something.
talking about the original. It was like gray.
Yep.
Had like two buttons.
Yep, I
and
know
the,
exactly what you're
And the
talking
D control, the little X controller on there, and yeah.
That Tetris, I remember when that was out,
Mm-hmm.
and that was, I mean,
Yep.
awesome.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's funny? Those were such a big deal. And now on your cell phone, you can have all of them
Yeah.
and half of them for free.
Yeah.
And you don't think of it, like being your Tetris game. No, this is my phone with 5 billion things that I can do with it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, are you a gamer now?
I still love playing video games. I guess you could call me a gamer, even though I'm brutally bad at them.
Yeah, but I mean, do you enjoy them? Like, I'm going to
Oh.
go buy this new one. I can't wait till it
I
comes
don't
out.
buy very many games new anymore.
Right.
But I still buy a lot of them.
Do you
Not
really?
a lot of them. Like most of the games I play as a shooter games. I don't know why I buy them.
I like
because
shooter games.
I am brutally bad.
Oh, now when you say shooter, you mean like just a regular game, but it's a shooting game, not one where you actually have like the plastic gun that you shoot at the TV.
I don't even think they have that anymore, do they?
The last time I think they had it,
That's what I remember was Nintendo.
well, I actually had one that was new, and I think it was for the Xbox. And it only had a couple of games. I think it was like a zombie game. They did that.
Yeah, I'm talking about like Call of Duty.
Yeah,
You
right.
know, just with the controller and
Halo.
shooting stuff. Yeah, Halo.
Gotcha.
I haven't played Halo in a long time.
I suck so bad at them.
Oh,
I
yeah.
can't stand any video
Yeah.
games.
Well, it's a shame to say this, but my average right now on the new Call of Duty is 3.5 kills for every 10 deaths.
You're doing better than me.
It is brutal. Every room I'm in, I am the worst. It's horrible. It's so frustrating.
Dude, and you see these kids,
They're
how
cheating
they
me.
can do?
They're cheating me.
Yeah, of course. They know who's on the other end.
Yeah, exactly.
They go, kill the D.
Yeah. I'm always getting shot from behind. I don't know how that was get behind me.
Dude, my game that I liked that I'm almost embarrassed to say it because it's lame. But to this day, I'm looking for an original Xbox because mine broke, and I still have that game, and that's what I would set up on my TV to play. Splashdown. It's a Wave Runner race game.
I do not remember this game.
No one but me remembers this thing. It's terrible, but it's awesome too. I mean, all it is that you have these different courses that you're on a Wave Runner, and you're constantly going over these jumps.
Yeah.
And in the air, you can do all these tricks. And I don't know why I like it, but
Do they not
love
have
it.
like a download for the new Xbox?
No, I've
don't?
checked because Connor's got all the Xboxes,
Yeah.
original 1 and 360, and they won't do it
Yeah.
because nobody, I guess, liked it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm like, dadgummit. So if anybody would like to donate an original Xbox, just hit up the Simply Incredible podcast, and Daryl will find me.
Yeah, we'll get you the 411.
The 411. The only games that I liked that were big was the Lego games, Star Wars and Batman.
I love playing the Batman was I absolutely love.
That was fantastic. I mean, Star Wars was too.
I thought it was pretty good. I got the one that came out a little bit later, had all 6 movies on it.
Oh, yeah. Did you like that, or is just
It
too
just
much?
I started with A New Hope, and then after a while, I'm just like, I just don't feel like finishing all these games.
It's a lot, right? Yeah.
I mean, that's one thing I love about it. They put a lot of content
Oh.
in each game.
And I played it with Connor, so he was loving the movies as a kid, you know, seeing them for the first time and playing this game, and it kind of, rounded out, an understanding of like, all right, we got to, get to the tractor beam, whatever.
Yeah.
It was fun. Oh, I loved it. But you know what? One of the things I don't like, the split screen thing.
Oh, I despise that.
That is like, why do they? Because it makes me not want to play it.
Well,
I'm like, I'm
3/4
not
of the time I'm playing, I'm looking at the wrong screen and can't figure out why I just died.
Not only that, but if you've got like a TV the size you want, well, now you get half of that to
Yeah.
see it on. And then this confusing, distraction above you or below you.
Have you ever played with more than 2 people?
Oh, dude, no. Only with Connor?
It gets real bad then.
Dude.
We
Is
had-
that all games now? Do they all do that now?
I don't think all of them do, but I think most of the competitive like multiplayer games do.
Why do they do it? If because I'm sure we're not the only ones that feel this way.
Well, I think a lot of times is like if you have a friend over, you don't want to just keep like passing controller back and forth. You can both play at the same time.
Okay. So, what system do you have right now?
I have the Xbox One, and I'm seriously thinking about going over to the PlayStation because
Why?
the new was it the PlayStation 4? Everybody is saying that system is a lot better than the Xbox One.
Wow.
Last generation was
What would
the
make
exact
it
opposite.
But what would make it better? What was better, the graphics or?
I think graphics are fairly similar, but they said the usability of it is a lot better now.
Gotcha.
Like upload times, because all the games now you have to upload everything. It takes like a half an hour sometimes to upload a game before you can play it. Now this makes no sense to me.
Connor's had that problem. Yeah, he goes, it's downloading. I can
Yeah.
come down here and just hang for a while.
Yeah, you said put the thing in there, but what blows my mind is after you have it all on the Xbox, you still need the discs to play it.
That's
Makes
nuts.
no sense.
No,
And then it uses so much of your memory.
right?
Like you start after about like 5-6 games, you have to start deleting games to play new games.
That's not cool.
Yeah.
It's almost like they're trying to make something so that they have something they can upgrade for
Oh
the next
yeah.
system.
You can now buy memory for it too.
Oh, jeez.
But the best thing to do is just go get just a regular terabyte, 2 terabytes. Like 2 terabytes now might be right at 100, or
Oh,
maybe
yeah, yeah.
maybe right around that amount now.
Literally, I think you can get them like 4 terabytes for like 120 or 130.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I remember the first time I looked at a terabyte, it was like 120.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I might get one. That's not a bad deal.
Right. I've got 2 of them.
Mm-hmm.
For all of my books and videos and stuff.
Yeah.
I back them up and I put them on there so that I always have 2 copies. In fact, I tell you, that's where they're going with technology that I do not like is they're going to get away from having the disc at all.
Yeah.
No more DVDs, no more CDs, and no more game discs.
Now, I'll tell you one bad thing about that.
Oh, I hate it. It makes me mad.
I mean, there's multiple bad things. One, I like having a physical copy of
I
stuff,
want a physical copy.
but it would kill trade-ins.
Oh, that GameStop's done.
But another thing is, though, most people have internet plans, Wi-Fi. They can only use so much a month.
Dude, that's me.
Yeah, and you'll start reaching that mark. Now you got to pay extra every month for that.
Yep. Do you go over your allotment all
I
the
have
time?
now with YouTube. Yeah, my YouTube channel. I have started going over it.
Oh, dude, I go over because me and Connor and Riley and Krista, everybody has a Netflix show that they watch. And if you watch that, it eats it up.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm like, good gosh, man. I didn't know that it was a big deal, but
Yeah.
how much is yours a month that you're playing?
I don't even know.
I think mine's like 300 gigabytes, and we're going over.
I think mine's 4 actually.
Okay.
And I mean, with Netflix, I just got Sling TV.
Yeah, are you digging that?
Well, the only reason I got it is because Chantel got rid of AMC.
But you can watch it on that?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like $10 a month, I believe it is, or is that one 19? I think it's $10 a month.
I've seen the commercial with,
I mean, it's a really good deal actually.
explain it.
Basically, it's got a bunch of channels. It's got different packages you can choose from, like anywhere from I want to say the first was like 30 channels, there's like a 60 channel, maybe like another more than that.
Is it like a Google Chrome where you plug a USB type thing in the back of your TV?
Oh no, I mean you just have your internet hooked up into it because I just run mine through my Xbox.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you can get like a Roku or something like that. I'm sure it would play through it that way too.
What if I've got a smart TV? Would
Yeah,
that
it should just
should
play
be
right through
on
that.
there?
Yeah.
I gotcha.
You just sign into it. You go to whatever channel you want to watch. Sometimes it has some shows that are backed up, so you can watch them later.
Dude, now that's the whole thing.
But it doesn't it doesn't keep them very long. That's the bad thing.
That's like Hulu. Hulu only keeps like 4 episodes and then
Yeah.
they move on.
Yeah, that's about what they're doing too.
Well, we got Hulu because we kept running out of space on our DVR. We were supposed to. We wanted to get like the HD package.
Yeah.
Which gave you like a huge. What is it? It's not the Hopper. That's Dish. What's the other one? The Genie. I think it's the Genie.
Yeah.
And the guy comes over to put it up, and he says, "We can't do it." And I'm like, "Why?" He goes, "You got too many trees."
Yep. That's like my house. Yep.
Yeah, and I was like, "Are you serious?" And half of me thought the guy didn't want to do the job and was
Yeah.
late for something. He goes, "I'm dead serious."
Yep.
He goes, and like we have HD TVs that the signal coming in isn't HD, so the TV is in HD.
Yeah.
I'm like, "Are you kidding me?" Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. Connor wants me to up the data because he's turned into a Netflix fiend.
Oh yeah.
Are you a Netflix?
Oh, I love me some Netflix.
What are you watching? Like, do you have a show that you're kind of like binging on right now?
Right now, it's actually on Amazon. I'm watching Sneaky Pete.
Okay, is that from Breaking Bad? Sneaky Pete?
It's not. I mean, it's got the Bryan Cranston. But he's kind of like he's at episodes where you kind of going that's Walter White. Excuse me, that's Heisenberg. Not Walter White. But he's got moments in there. Giovanni Ribisi.
Oh, I love him.
Yeah, he's a really good actor.
Now, is Sneaky Pete the same actor from Breaking Bad? Sneaky Pete?
No. That was Skinny Pete.
Skinny Pete. Okay,
Yeah.
that's why I thought it was
Yeah.
Sneaky Pete.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to me. What is Sneaky Pete about?
It's right now about 4 episodes in. He's a guy that was in prison, Giovanni Ribisi, and when he was getting out, there was people that was going to try to get him because he owed him a lot of money. But
I love him. I might watch it just for him.
the guy that's in prison with him, he's gonna be there for a long, long time. And he kept talking about his family, and finally he says, you know what? I can be this guy because he hasn't seen his family in like 20 plus years.
So they don't even remember what
They
he
don't
looks
remember
like.
what he looks like or anything. So now he's pretending to be that guy.
No.
And he remembers all these stories that this guy told. So, when
He's got the background.
Yeah, so when he's talking to somebody, he goes, remember that time?
No.
Yeah, so it's like
dude.
almost anytime they have a question, He just goes, "Remember that time we did something or not?" And he's like,
Now, is this an hour show or a 30-minute show?
"It's hour."
Oh yeah, yeah. It'd have to be.
Yeah, and what I do like about it, it's an hour. It's not like the like 37 minutes or 42 minutes.
Then that drive you crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That right there is on episode 4. Do you have anything else that you're like going back when you get tired of that?
I really don't right now because I'm really going with that. But yeah, I still watch now. It's one show. I doubt anybody else watches this. The Curse of Oak Island.
Oh, dude, I watch it.
Do you? I love this show.
You know, but it's exactly like Finding Bigfoot.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing every week.
Yeah.
But you tune in every season.
It
Might be tonight.
Dude, because I put on Facebook yesterday, I think it was. I was like, it's kind of like Geraldo Rivera looking through Al Capone's vault,
There's
and all he's
nothing
gonna
here.
find is a bottle.
Dude, let me tell you something.
Yeah, I'm
There's
like
nothing
last
in
night
it.
I'm watching the most recent one. Have you seen the most recent one?
No, in fact,
All right, I won't say that.
I saw the commercial for it,
Uh-huh.
and it got me excited about
Yeah.
it. And they're like, "That's the box."
Yeah.
Tell me. I can't wait.
Well, they're digging another hole in the money pit,
Yeah, right.
and they keep pulling stuff out. Now they're pulling like metal pieces out, and they're thinking it's part of a ship that might have been buried there.
Oh my gosh.
Or and they're like, oh my gosh, this is great. And one of the women there that came in, her and her sister and her other sister had been to the island. They had family that had died there. You know, some of the people that had died, that
right.
a
Some of
certain
the
number-
original Islanders.
Yeah, a certain number have to die before they find the.
Yeah, they need
the
one
gold.
more to die.
And well, one of the sisters died, so they had a real, really emotional part where they were like burying a piece of her there. A piece like ashes, not an actual piece of her.
Right.
And so that's pretty emotional. But she comes on with a box. And she goes, "My dad found this in the money pit. And it's a cross. It's a little gold cross." And they take it to an expert. And they say, well, all these little holes in it used to be like rubies or some. I think it was rubies. I think it was.
Yeah.
And
right.
this thing dates back to at least the 1500s or something. So you go,
No.
oh, so this does work in the timeline.
Oh wow.
So,
Dude,
and
I
then
love it.
it was the last episode of the season. So, and it's like, this is the last thing we can do because they're up, in Canada.
Yeah.
So winter's about to kick in on them.
So they got to pull
So they
the
had to
whole
pull
operation out.
Yeah. So I'm like, oh man, gosh, they're just getting good.
Oh, I
Just
do
fun
like that.
stuff.
I've got it on my DVR to record,
Mhm.
and I am under no illusion that I'm gonna take and watch all of the ones that have recorded.
Yeah.
But I'll take whenever I have time, if I catch it, I'll say, "Oh, let me see the newest, one."
Mm-hmm.
Because apparently the other 4, if I'm keeping 5,
Yeah.
they didn't find nothing because they got another one.
Yeah. So
The last
dig
one I
it.
saw was when the divers went down
yeah.
into the void,
Mm-hmm.
and they were looking around. They had real good visibility. I was like, "That's wild."
Yeah.
Oh.
So it's like, how do you have this big void like down there like
That's
that?
crazy.
Yeah.
I love that story. I heard that thing back in the late 90s about the
Mhm.
money pit
Mm-hmm.
and heard about it, and I was completely intrigued. And then for them to do this, I thought it was cool as heck.
And so one guy, he's like, well, you don't want them to find nothing. I was like, dude, I want them to find
I
something.
want them to find
But
it.
Laguna Brothers, I mean, how much money has got to be getting spent on this thing?
But they've got to be making money like crazy for the show.
I mean, do you think they're making enough to pay for all that stuff?
Yep.
I mean, that's millions of dollars they're putting into that.
You know the American Chopper guys, the
Yeah.
father and son that used
Yeah.
to fight all the
Yeah.
time. Around here, Milwaukee Iron,
Yeah, Milwaukee Iron.
right?
Mhm.
They were good friends with them, and I did a job for a couple of them, concrete, and
Mm-hmm.
talked with them, and they said that they made more money on that show than they ever made on their bikes.
Really? Because
Yeah.
I would have thought they would have made money on the show, but then started getting a lot of commissions and stuff from that.
Which they did, and that's what keeps them going now. They're still working. They've
Oh, are they
actually
really?
well, they split apart.
Yeah.
And did their own thing, and I actually think I heard something like they might either starting to be coming back, or they are back together, as a team.
I mean, the Milwaukee Iron guys.
No. I'm sorry, the American Chopper.
Yeah,
guys.
because I was thinking the Milwaukee Iron guys. I don't think they're doing anything now.
No, I don't think so either.
Because the one guy, that main guy, he used to come in our store a lot.
The old one, or
No,
was it Ronnie?
Is that
What's his name?
I think that was his name. The young, the guy who actually owned the store.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
He had a beard, and it's always cracked me up. Not a big long beard, but a little kind of thin beard.
Right.
But he come in, he had what was it? It was a Magnum. I can't think of what brand car it was. And he come in this store and say, "Hey man, he's got this new car." And I'm like, "That's pretty cool. I like it." And he goes, "Hey, you see me spinning tires?" I'm like, "What?" He goes, "See me spinning tires, man. It's awesome. You see it?" I'm like, "Yes, yes, I
Go
do.
for it.
I do." And he pulls up right beside the gas. He looks at it. He's got this big grin on his face, happy as can be.
He's like, I got permission.
And he guns it. And you see the tires spinning,
Oh,
smoke
Lord.
coming up. My brother comes running out of his house. What's going on out there? It's like, it's just him from Milwaukee.
Yeah.
And he's like, what an idiot.
He goes, make me have a heart attack.
And it was awesome.
Dude, we did the concrete for him around his pool,
Mm-hmm.
and his house was a mansion.
That's awesome.
It was not I was like, he came out, and as you know, I didn't know that, you know, who he was or what he did.
Mhm.
And my dad was trying to tell me, he goes, yeah, man, we're going to do this guy. And he told me his name. He goes, yeah, I've known him for a while. And you look at him, he's a biker.
Yeah.
He's all tatted up and dresses, you know, grease all over him all the time. And when you see his house, you won't believe it. And
Yeah.
it was awesome.
I
Really.
mean, I'm sure it's like that with the guys from Duck Dynasty.
Oh, you're right.
I mean, you see these guys like, just what?
And then you see their house. You're
Well,
like, what?
the old guy, Phil, he still looks like he lives in about a double wide.
Oh, dude, totally. I think you'd probably be happy in one, too.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. You ever hear like the older you get, you want a smaller house, you know, everybody's downsizing?
Mhm.
I'm not there yet.
I am nowhere near there.
And I'm getting old.
Yeah. It's like, I got a lot of stuff, and if I downsize, I don't know where I'm putting it.
Dude, you'd be selling it or throwing it out.
Yeah. It's like, you know what? I'm going to get a smaller house, but now I'm going to have to get about 2 storage bins.
Dude, I'm actually turning into a minimalist. You ought to see when I
Mm-hmm.
take and go through my stuff now.
When you minimize those comic books, you can just throw them on over here.
If I do, it's going to be all Punisher.
It's funny. Oh, but speaking of that, Punisher War Journal.
That's the only thing I ever get at an antique store when I'm on
Dude,
vacation.
no matter where you go,
They've got a
that
billion
is
of them.
there.
Always.
I was at a store and I was like, I just was going through the comics. I'm like, there's another
one.
Number 1, there it is.
My mom, every time she'll go, to this day, if she goes to an antique store, she'll
Uh-huh.
look, and if she sees them at a decent price, she doesn't know what's what, she'll always bring me back comics. And it's
Uh-huh.
the sweetest thing because it's never anything I want.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe once in a while.
Mhm.
But it's always like Punisher War
Yeah.
Journal, and I'm like, thanks, Mom. These are great. Dad, you're so sweet. I love you. Now I tell you what, though, she took and went
Like,
here.
he's got like 75 of Punisher War Journal
Literally,
number
I
ones.
probably have a long box of Punisher War Journals that I don't want, don't read. I will sell.
Yeah. You know what? I'm going to have to pass on those.
Totally. This for Christmas though, I guess she went somewhere, and she hit the mother load. I think it was local.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, it's called the Etc. shop. It's like a consignment thing.
I already know where that's at.
Dude, it's over on Old Forest Road by Mayflower News,
Mhm.
whatever. It's this little thing, and she always goes in there. She loves that kind of thing. And for Christmas, I mean, she had like this big old box of comics for me,
Mhm.
and there was some really good ones in there.
Really?
I mean, I was like, some 12-cent Silver Age.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I was like,
Come
where did you
on.
get these? And she told me.
Yeah, I saw someone on YouTube. He found a bunch of action figures and stuff. Some still in boxes at Goodwill stores.
Oh, yeah.
Every time I've gone in there, they just got junk that no one would ever want. It's like a box of checkers missing like 5 of them.
Yeah, yeah. And the board's ripped in half.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yeah, you just got to scoot them together. That's all right.
Yeah,
It'll work.
A little tape, you're good to go.
Like, who wants to buy a coffee pot from Goodwill?
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
it's like, I don't know who spit or peed in that
Yeah.
thing. I ain't drinking that.
Uh,
Speaking of which, right?
I'm just saying that now that you're talking about peeing in one, I'm assuming you've done that on multiple occasions.
Hey, man, when you got to go, you got to go.
It's like, I cannot confirm nor deny.
Dude, I'm just saying that in said situations, I shall make myself. Okay, let's change the subject.
Yeah. Okay, comic books. Me and one of my friends went to a Comic-Con this weekend at Richmond International Raceway.
Oh, that's right. You told me your friend Todd, right?
Yeah, my friend Todd, and he's never been in the Comic-Con, never even read a comic book.
What did he think about this world he stumbled into?
Yeah, because he goes in there, he's like, I am in a different world here. I was like, dude, this is a small little show. And to me, this was like the greatest venue ever for me because it's on the racetrack. It's up into like a suite, you know, where people come in and host parties.
Oh, wow.
So you can go there and
What
look
city?
down.
Was this Richmond?
Yeah,
Oh.
Richmond International Raceway, where they have the NASCAR races.
Yeah.
And I'll go to a window. I see a NASCAR track right there. I'm like, only thing that make this better if they were actually racing today.
Or somebody just taking and doing some laps.
Yeah, I'm saying I got comic books right over here. Got a racetrack right down there. Oh.
Life is good.
And he was like, and he bought a few comics, and he's like, you know what? This stuff's pretty good. Because he sees me talking about them all the time. He's like, I'm starting to see what you're talking about.
Dude, it's fun. If you let yourself go with it, that's
Mhm.
that's a fun little Saturday, right?
And the only bad thing about this is he was reading Marvel comics and not DC.
You see, let me explain something to you, Daryl.
It's just idiocy. That's all it is.
The force is strong in the Marvel world.
Yeah. Well, he started it simply because of
The
the
movies?
movies. Yeah. So he started out with some man, I don't even know what numbers they were. Some Amazing Spider-Man.
Right?
And I forgot to tell him. I'm gonna tell him about the ones you were telling me about.
Yeah. Superior Spider-Man?
From the end of Amazing Spider-Man, 695 and up, and then going into Superior.
How far are you through it?
Okay, I just read the first one.
Okay.
I just haven't had time,
Dude.
And we talked about it was late, so I didn't really
Right.
get to read into it yet. But
I might read it again so I can talk about it and be up on it because it's
Yeah.
been a while.
and so, but he did read a couple of DC, like Mad Love. He
he
said
like
he
it?
really liked that. So he's like, I can kind of see why Harley is kind of the way she is,
Oh,
which
yeah.
I thought was awesome.
When you see the background she came
yeah,
from.
yeah, not the one from Suicide Squad.
And Mad Love is the one that was kind of done the animated style.
Yeah,
Right,
Yeah,
yeah.
mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean that was from the Batman, the animated adventures and stuff
Okay,
like that.
yeah.
So,
And those comics are good? They're not too kitty?
well, just like the show. I mean,
Yeah.
it's basically the show put into a book.
Okay, that's good stuff.
So I think that the show come first. So yeah, that's how they did the show. Put it right into a comic book.
You'll love how Connor is doing with his comic choices.
Mm-hmm.
He is you through and through as far as DC dad. What are you doing with this Marvel garbage?
I knew I liked that kid.
Oh, dude,
he had a
he is.
Flash shirt on today.
Oh, dude, that's what it is. It's the TV shows. He
Mhm.
loves the Marvel movies,
Mm-hmm.
but he loves the TV shows. He loves the Flash,
Mm-hmm.
Legends of Tomorrow.
I've got to start watching that.
That's actually pretty good. It started
I
out
watched, like
lame.
the first 3-4 episodes.
Lame.
It's just not catching me.
Yeah. It turned out really good. The
Yeah.
end, the way they tied it up, but I
Mhm.
mean, it is a season of TV.
How about is he like in Supergirl?
Yep.
I really dig that show.
Yep. He's liking
I know a
that
lot of people are just like it's so lame, but I'm like it's fun.
Well, that's the whole thing. If you're looking for something, that the flavor is, that's a lame thing for you.
Mm-hmm.
There's always John Wick.
Mm-hmm.
That is the same, awesome, but it's serious.
Yeah,
Have you seen that John Wick 2?
I've not seen the second one yet because I've been sick and everything. Haven't had a chance to get out to it.
Make it like a point to see that
Yeah.
one. That's the best thing I've seen since the first one.
Now I will say this: was it this Friday that it came out or the previous Friday?
two Fridays now.
And the plan was get out there, see John Wick and Lego Batman.
Yeah.
I mean, have a double header. Probably Lego Batman first.
Right. Yeah, that's what I would do. Yeah.
And I was like, that.
Yeah, have you seen either?
I've been sick and everything. So
Connor loved Lego Batman. I wasn't a fan.
really,
The jokes, some of them were, imaginative, but some of them were so simple that I was just like, that's not funny. Some of them were really good, and I'm not saying it was a bad movie, but it's not something I'd ever watch again. I found myself in the movie going, dear Lord, how much longer?
Mm-hmm.
And Connor was like, that's the best thing I've ever seen since Johnny Depp and the Lone Ranger. So you can see what kind of
wow. Have you
standards
seen
are.
Dumb and Dumber 2?
That's pretty bad.
One of the worst things ever. Todd was like, "How did you not like that? It was hilarious." I'm like, "Wait, are you sure you're talking
That's
about?"
what your friend Todd said?
Yeah, I'm like, "Are you sure you saw the second one, not the first one?" He goes, "Yeah, the one just come out." I'm like, "Are you sure?"
That's horrible.
That is one of the worst pieces of film I've ever seen.
That literally made me feel like I just wasted my time completely.
Yeah.
That's an hour and whatever I can't ever
I mean,
get
I
back.
literally made it through the whole thing just thinking it's got to get better. And no,
It didn't.
it didn't.
And you know what was crazy is they had what looked like everything all together,
Yeah.
but man, that story was just
I mean, they had
uninspired.
the one scene at the very beginning that I thought was funny where He was trying to get Jim Carrey to wake up from his coma, and he wakes up and he just go pull the
Right.
the catheter
Catheter.
out. That to me was funny, and then that was it.
That was it.
If they hadn't put that in the trailer,
Right?
that's
I don't think
brutal.
Jim Carrey has done anything since that movie.
I wouldn't. I would just say, you know what? I'm retiring on a really hideous note.
Dude, if that's where you're going, oh, that's terrible. Yeah, that's not good. All right, now, do you want to talk about any of the movies getting ready to come out, or did you want to talk some more about your Amazon Netflixing?
Is there anything else on Amazon or Netflix? Well, yeah, this isn't from that, but The Walking Dead. I'm up on that. So
I'm too down on that.
Mhm. The first two of the new the
Yep.
half season. Yeah.
Yeah, which I've never been, but I'm gonna tell you this straight up,
Mhm.
and I don't think I'm alone here.
Oh yeah.
I wasn't, for the first time since it ever came out, I was not excited to see it.
Mhm.
Like normally, my
Oh.
Sunday nights, I love that and then the Talking Dead after
Mhm.
it, and I could give two craps. I was just like, you know what? No, that first part of that season, you guys killed me.
Yeah.
But you
That's so awesome.
have convinced me.
Mhm.
Don't quit.
Yeah. I mean, I hear a lot of people saying it's a lot of people are saying it's really getting slow and boring.
I felt that it was just depressing last,
Mhm.
the first part of the season. I was like, all this is
They're in the
people,
zombie apocalypse. They're not having parties all the time.
Yeah, but I wasn't looking for a party. I was looking for excitement.
Yeah.
Like, hey, we got to get out of here, run, fight,
Well,
hide,
There's a head bashed in. I mean, that was exciting.
No, not exciting.
Two of them.
Graphic, but not exciting.
Straight out of the comics.
Yeah. I actually saw Conan O'Brien last night when I was getting ready to go to bed. It was playing, and it was an older one from when Stephen Yeun had been on after
Yeah.
his death.
Uh-huh.
And they showed a little snippet of him and Abraham,
Mm-hmm.
Michael Cudlitz, in makeup in the trailer, just waiting to go on and just goofing around.
Uh-huh.
And it was hilarious.
That's awesome.
It was because they started doing their little banner back and forth, and it finished up with Abraham looking like this. He's got this thing right in the middle where the bat hit him,
Yeah.
and his hair is completely gone, and there's where the barbed wire hit.
Oh, man.
And all of a sudden, he's got this mustache, and he's close to the camera, and he starts going, "Put him up, put him up. I'll fight you with put him behind my back." That's right.
That
You're sticking-
cowardly lion. That's awesome.
And because it looks so, I actually literally laughed out loud. I LOL'd.
That is awesome.
Now, so many big movies this year coming out.
Oh my goodness. It's insane what's all coming out.
All right, first one that's big coming out in just a few weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Logan.
Yep.
So excited because it looks like they're taking it serious.
Yep.
But a little worried.
Why?
One of the things that I like is when they have, like a Deadpool movie or a Doctor Strange, when you have a lead character, Iron Man, I want him at the end to save the day. Him,
Mm-hmm.
not someone saving him. I hated Iron Man 3 at the end when Pepper Potts saves Tony.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know they're like, oh, Troy, it's a twist, man. That's cool. No. I don't want the woman to save Iron Man. I'm sorry. Call me
You
misogynistic.
sexist
Yeah.
pig.
Put it this way, though. If it's She-Hulk or Captain Marvel, the female Captain
By the
Marvel,
way, new She-Hulk comic, very good.
right? Or Wonder Woman. I do not want Chris Pine saving Wonder Woman. I want the hero to be the hero.
Now, do you have a problem because I haven't seen it, we don't know, but if it ends on a cliffhanger and then they come back to it?
Number one, if they do a cliffhanger, what's going to happen is that they're using this as a launching pad for the girl X-23.
Mm-hmm.
That pisses me off. I think she's gonna be awesome. Like what was the girl from Kick-Ass?
Her actual name?
No, the character.
Hit Girl.
Hit Girl.
Hit Girl.
Fantastic. Best character of that movie in the first one.
Yeah.
That was my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was like, just didn't expect it. But if Logan is this old Logan, which he is, and he's broken and beaten down, and we're waiting to see Hugh Jackman finally cut loose on a rated R scale. And now this 6-7-year-old girl is the baddest thing in the movie. That's not cool.
I'm excited about it.
Does that worry you, though?
Not in the least bit.
Not a valid point, you don't say.
No, to me, it's let's see what happens, and then we'll go from there.
Okay, I'm totally on board with that. That's why I said I'm a little worried. I'm not like, putting it on blast. I just don't want it
He's like
to.
this, banned. I'm not watching that.
Yeah, and I won't. I'm a Wolverine. Wolverine is right there. Spider-Man, Wolverine, Captain America. Those are my favorites. You know,
you don't like Steve Rogers, the new comic.
I'm not reading it.
I read like the first 3 issues, and I'm like, I can't go on with this.
In fact, I'll tell you what, Marvel's feeling it. Did you know that?
Oh, dude, I've
getting crushed.
I've been talking to people about it, and they say Marvel right now is getting destroyed in the books.
Yes, by DC. They're
DC
killing them.
Killing it.
Well, think about it. It's a very simple reason. The reason that they're getting killed is because DC understands that what made it work is keeping true to the character and letting the character that we're familiar with be the front runner.
Yeah.
You've got a girl Thor, a girl Black Iron Man.
That's one thing we were talking about too. Is like they're going female with everything.
With everything, and it's like, guess what? I totally get once in a while doing it as a gimmick, but that's not the character that I fell in love with. Miles Morales, I love his Spider-Man. He's great, but he's a Spider-Man.
Yeah.
He's not the Spider-Man. Peter Parker's Spider-Man.
I mean, like with Hulk now, it's like, the comic's called Hulk, but it's She-Hulk.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm telling you,
But
stupid. You know what it is?
But I'm gonna say this:
PC.
It does look good. This comic is actually pretty good. The first 2 issues.
I
Number
don't
3
doubt
is
it.
coming out.
But it doesn't make any sense. Why don't you take and call it female Iron Man, female Thor, whatever, and let them do their book?
Yeah.
But give me Thor.
I mean, it's one thing we talked about a long time ago. Is why does every character have to have the same sex counterpart? Not same sex, but opposite sex counterpart.
Yeah.
And it's happening everywhere.
I hate it. And you know what? Once they started doing that, the last thing I think I bought to read was Civil War II, and I started noticing them kind of like salt and pepper and all that stuff in.
Yeah.
And I said, you know what? You guys are going to fall right on your tails, and when you do, and go back to your roots of Steve Rogers is Captain America, Thor is Thor, not female Thor.
Yep.
When you go back to the guys that I like,
Yep.
I'll be back. But until then, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to start over in my collection and reread and just revisit with my friends. Not this, monstrosity. And DC's killing it, though.
Yeah.
Everybody's true to who they are.
Yeah, it's in the comics. They're killing it, but after that, DC is just getting destroyed. Well, except in animated movies.
And TV. Their TV is doing well.
Animated movies, they're just destroying an anime. Those things are amazing.
What was the last one that we were supposed
Justice
to...
League Dark.
Is that out yet?
Yep. Come out a couple weeks ago. I thought it was really good. John Constantine.
That's right. That's right.
Zatanna was in it.
Yep.
And I was like, wow, this characters are a lot cooler than I really thought Zatanna was.
Oh, yeah,
really
yeah.
Good stuff.
Speaking of that, and
I think Deadman, I think the character was in it.
Yep,
also.
Deadman is.
He was hilarious, by the way.
Well, the Netflix thing that we were talking about before, Connor was watching and got me to watch Young Justice.
Yeah.
Have you seen that?
That's really good.
That's fantastic.
Because I put on Facebook one time that Batman the Animated Series is the best of all time, and somebody goes, "Have you tried Young Justice?"
Yeah,
and
that's
for
great.
Me, it's still Batman the Animated, but that Young Justice really good.
It's hard to take and dethrone something that's already special. That's why when we were young, the old guys would always say, "Oh, the original was better," and you're like, "The original was better." Well, that's the way.
Have you watched Psycho?
Yeah.
You watched the one with Vince Vaughn?
No.
Don't.
Oh, the original was better?
It is brutally bad.
Really?
It is horrible. It's almost verbatim, except you have Vince Vaughn with his stupid, smart alecky look on his face.
Well, he's a snarky guy.
And it's just like, it just doesn't work.
He does jiu-jitsu?
Yes, I do.
Yeah? And he's a big dude,
He's no
too.
Al Bundy, but...
No,
he
Al
is
Bundy's...
a big dude.
He's huge.
Like him, Affleck...
Yep.
Those are big guys.
They're big guys, man. And you think about it now, like Al Bundy, it kills me that he could choke me.
Yeah, isn't that something?
Because I love the idea that it's like, oh yeah, you might be famous, but if we ever roll, man, let me tell you, I'd steamroll you.
Because as I recall, he started way back when he was on Married with Children.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
Or
yeah.
right there toward the end of that. Because
Yeah.
somebody he knew was training. He's like, why don't you come with me sometime?
I think it was John Landis, a director friend of his. I think
I
might
think
not be
that's-
John
That,
Landis.
that sounds right to me, but viewers, correct us on that.
But if you if you want to hear a fantastic story and have any interest in jiu-jitsu, go to YouTube and punch in Al Bundy's first jiu-jitsu lesson. And he comes out, Ed O'Neill,
Yeah.
and tells it, and it's one of my favorites.
Wait, was that when he was at one of the schools?
Yeah, he was in the Torrance Academy.
Yeah, and he come out there and he's talking about it. I was
Wearing
like,
a
yeah,
gi
I
and
remember seeing
everything.
that. Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Another good one, if you want another little good funny story, one of the funniest guys in jiu-jitsu is Renzo Gracie, and him talking with his cousin, which one was it? Helson. Telling a story back and forth about their getting in fights in Brazil back when they were younger. It had me in tears. So just put in Renzo and Helson Gracie, and it'll pop up. You
For those
know,
who don't know, they both begin with the letter R.
yeah, they both. I'm sorry.
'Cause
Everybody who's into comics and not jiu-jitsu is like, why are they talking about this?
He's like, it's H. Wait, why is this not coming up? Henzo. Yep. Not Enzo.
Hey, speaking of which, I had this guy call me up tonight. He said he wanted to train MMA.
Uh-huh.
And I said, you got any experience? And he goes, oh, yeah, I boxed, did some kickboxing, some jiu-jitsu. And I was like, oh, okay, how much jiu-jitsu? Well, to be honest, just real little. I was like, okay, so you're more of a striker. Yeah, boxing and kickboxing. I was like, have you fought competitively? He goes, oh, yeah. And he said, Ellen just threw me.
Yeah, I'm going to be, when we start doing videos, I'm going to be putting a board right there
Oh, we have
so it
to.
doesn't throw us off.
I'm sorry, my esteemed team is making faces at me through the window and throwing me off.
Don't worry, I just made sure they knew that they were number one.
Oh, and I said, hey, have you competed before? And he goes, oh, yeah, lots. I was like, what was your record? And he goes, what do you mean? I was like, I said, like, what is your competitive record? He goes, like,
wow.
you mean how many people have I knocked out? Wang. I'm like, yeah, how many people have you knocked out? All of them. I was like, okay.
Wait, all that's making me think of is, do you remember the guy in the Tough Man show?
Yeah.
I'm blind. All we did root. I can't think of that guy's name, but he was hilarious.
Dude, I just
I'm
told that
natural
guy.
blind. All we did root.
All the way to the... Dude, what was that from?
It was from the Tough Man competition. They have the 1 minute rounds.
Here at local?
No, it was on TV.
Okay, yes, I do know what you're talking
It's like
about.
Hard Body Harrison or something
Yep.
like that.
A hard body Harrison?
Something like that. He's a black dude. He's like, I'm a natural blind. All we do is root.
I haven't thought about that forever. You got to tell that one to Jamie.
That
That'll
was
bring up
one
memories.
of the funniest things. Oh my goodness.
Now, Wolverine's getting ready to come out.
Mhm.
What's the next thing on the scale that we've got? Spider-Man, is that coming out this year with the Vulture?
I think that's coming
The
out.
Amazing
this year.
Spider-Man?
I know Wonder Woman's coming out.
Wonder Woman's coming
Is
out.
JLA coming out this year? Justice League?
Gosh, I
Not
think it
Justice
is.
League, or just Justice League.
I think it is, and
I
so is Thor Ragnarok.
Yep, that's coming out this year.
And before that,
Gambit may never come out. We don't
No.
know.
I'll tell you what, I saw a little bit of what they're talking about for Phase 3 with Black Panther.
Mm-hmm.
The
I heard
concept,
they were moving that up a year.
I did
Black
too.
Panther up to next year to 18.
I think it was.
Mhm.
They had Black Panther that they were talking about, and they showed some concept art.
Mhm.
Kevin Feige did, and I was blown away because I've never really read the book.
Mhm.
You know, they're like one of the most scientifically, technologically advanced
Yeah.
place.
Wakanda.
Wakanda, though, when they showed the concept art,
Mhm.
it was a perfect mix of like something from outer space, and dude, I'm trying to think something from like a Tarzan movie,
Oh, that's pretty sweet.
It was really,
love those
really. Oh, I do
Tarzan.
too. Oh,
Except for that ripping of the bodies apart. Yeah.
so good. And they also were talking today on comicbookmovie.com.
Mm-hmm.
Both of your two girls that you were talking about before. Yvonne
Strahovski.
Strahovski is going to be in Kong.
That looks amazing, by the way.
I'm sorry, it's not her in Kong. She's in something else. But remember what thing that you wanted her to be in?
I want her to be Ms. Marvel.
Yes. Right underneath that story was Brie
Larson.
Yeah, in the Captain Marvel suit.
Mm-hmm.
Just like a bust.
She's not going to do it for me.
You don't think so?
I don't care what she does.
She's in Kong.
I don't care how awesome it is. It's not going to be good enough for me.
Dude. Because you wanted Yvonne.
She's not the Strahadi.
She's not the Strahadi. Well,
yes, I invented that term.
Speaking of which, the Kong trailer, how cool, right?
Yes, that looks so good. Now, I hope it's better than that last King Kong where the first hour, you had to wait an hour and a half before they got to the island.
Why do they do that?
That was brutal. And I told somebody, it's like, it's kind of like an 80s song where they have instrumental up to about a minute and a half in before they start singing.
Yes.
It's like, we don't want to wait that long.
Dude, just
Sing the song.
show us the monkey. I need a monkey.
I mean, there's one scene in it. I mean, Samuel L. Jackson's in it.
Dude, my favorite, though? John C. Reilly.
I knew you were going there. But there's this one scene. It's like blowing up or something.
Right.
And you see
Kong in the water.
Yeah, and you see him up, and it's like that's almost like a silhouette of him against that background. I was like, oh my goodness,
Tough,
that's amazing.
Man. Tough. Tom, is it Hiddleston?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Loki.
Mm-hmm.
He's in it, which I love. I almost worried about all these guys being typecast because I love them so much. I wish them success. And, I'm like, dude, I want them to do good.
Yeah.
And to see him doing something else like this, it made me feel good.
Mm-hmm.
Brian sent me a text. He goes, hey, man, did you see the Kong trailer with John C? Because he knows I'm a big John C. Reilly fan. And I said, I saw it, and I loved it. It was fantastic. Oh, and the monkey was pretty good, too.
Hey, that looks like it's going to be so good.
So,
there's been a comic book out for a while. I don't know if it's going to be like that or not.
What, for Kong?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've never
that.
read that comic, so I don't know anything about it. So that should be interesting.
And I love the stuff that you sent on our little messenger, like that was coming out with previews.
Yeah.
Flash Batman.
Mm-hmm.
And what was the other one? Shaolin Cowboy?
Shaolin Cowboy.
That looked great.
I don't know what it's about. But I just that sounds interesting to me.
I think that's an old book. I think that's been out for years, though.
Is it?
I think.
I don't know.
But I'm gonna try. If you're gonna read it, I'll read it. and We'll talk
Batman,
about it.
the Flash with the
Watchmen button.
Watchmen button.
Ooh.
It's called the button. The first issue is gonna be number 21 for both of them, the Flash and Batman. And they have lenticular cover. You turn side to side, you see Batman or the Flash. I'm like, oh my goodness, that's gonna be so awesome,
Dude. I hate to say it, but Make Mine Marvel has always been close to my heart.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, I'm reading DC.
Mm-hmm.
That stuff is killing it.
Now, I will say this. I'm glad I read Civil War specifically for the Inhumans.
Oh, yeah.
I never knew anything about them. And now that I'm reading stuff about them, I'm starting to go back and get some back issues for them.
Their back issues are cool, dude.
It's a really cool family. I found some, like in dollar bins, like old Incredible Hulk that had a mixer with them, Fantastic Four. But, I mean, these are beat up, so they're like the 50-cent bin.
Dude, love it.
And I was like,
beat them up. I don't care.
Yeah.
I'll read them.
Yeah. I was all excited about it. I'm like, 50 cent? Heck yeah.
That's probably one of my favorite things to do is to find, because I'm in a different area of my life. I'm not looking for investments for my books. I want to have something that's special, that's that old.
Yeah.
And I don't care if it's even beat up a little bit. I don't care. I want it to be readable. But that's a 50-cent find of a 1967 Hulk or 70s Inhuman. That's heaven.
Okay, one of the guys I go to in Roanoke, he owns a shop, and every time I'm in Roanoke, I always stop by there. It's an awesome guy, Tim at Infinity Comics. So I go there every time, and he hooked me up because he had a half price sale, so I bought a bunch of old Batman, like dollar books, and he goes, you come in all the time, I'm going to give you this. I was like, what is it? He goes, it's something I know you would appreciate. Most people wouldn't. It's kind of beat up. He turns it over. It's Detective Comics 250. This is from 1957.
He gave it.
And you just get it's beat up.
Who cares?
But I was like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
And I was looking through it. It's got like a little mini story of Martian Manhunter. And I was like, this is the greatest thing ever.
That's I tell you what, that's a good guy. That's a good businessman too.
Yeah, I mean, I was.
Guess he's going to Infinity Comics for Infinity.
and beyond.
and beyond.
Every time I go, I always make it a point to always stop by there. And I've known Tim for a while, since before he actually had that shop there.
That's
so
too
he's a
cool.
good dude.
Good for
dude.
him. Good to give him a
So
plug
if
too.
you're ever in Roanoke, definitely stop by there on Williamson.
So next week,
Mm-hmm.
the first videoed,
First video
simply
podcast.
incredible, maybe not incredible podcast. This could.
It's funny. We had topics at the beginning. Never hit a single one of them.
Dude, that's the whole thing, though,
Yeah.
man. You're such a good friend. I
We
can come
let it
in and
flow.
just rattle and have a good
Mhm.
time. I hope everybody else enjoyed it.
Yep. And one thing we've decided to do, we decided to end it right at an hour, and we're like right at an hour right now.
Dude, I'm done.
So there we go. Anything else?
I'm going to go home and I'm going to get on my Netflix, and tonight I'm watching MASH.
Oh, is
Yeah.
MASH on Netflix?
No, I've got it.
I shouldn't have called you on that one. I would like to apologize.
I actually looked on Netflix and it wasn't there, so they had a MASH marathon, and I've got like 34 MASH episodes that I'm just
there
going
you
to
go.
dive into
There
tonight.
you go. I don't know what I'm going to do. Probably go home and take a nap. I don't know.
Thanks for doing the podcast tonight.
Yeah,
though.
it's about time. It only took us 2 months.
I love
But that's all we got. And you guys have an incredible day.
See ya!